everyone, and welcome to the second episode on the happenings. I remain your host, Ray. Last episode, we discussed on definitions of New Year resolution, the history of New Year resolution, and actually the importance of the resolution to us as humans in our present century. Today, we'll be looking at how to keep the New Year resolution. First, you need to prioritize your goals. You need to set your goals and know their importance. You need to know why you need that goal and why you actually set it for yourself. Secondly, you need to dream big. What do I mean by dreaming big? You need to see beyond what other people see you to be as. You need to think outside the box. You need to think beyond your own ability. But in thinking outside your ability, you still need to believe in your ability. Dreaming big will actually help you work towards every goal you have, because even if you don't get to the exact way you dreamt that goal to be, you're actually going to get closer to it. It's always said that in a class of 10, those people that actually come out first position are those that keep telling themselves, I will actually come first. When you decide to come first position in class, whether you like it or not, somehow you fall among the first three in the class. Why? Because you've actually dreamt big. You've dreamt being the first. You didn't think that, okay, maybe if I'm actually the second position or the third position is better. You actually thought first and you worked towards that first. So if you're not able to beat up that big dream of yours, you will get closer to the dream. Another way to keep your resolution is to break your dreams into smaller units. You need to think tiny. Small dreams moves you forward to your ultimate goal. It actually gives people around you the courage to buy the idea of your goal, in a sense that if you actually want to become the president of your country, you don't just wake up and become the president. You take a step first. And what is that step? Becoming the youth chairman. Somehow, you walk from there to becoming a councillor in whatever local government you find yourself. From there, you walk up to becoming a state governor. From there, you take other big roles in politics and you see yourself becoming the president. You have to break your dreams into smaller units. If you're a pastor and you intend to have a church in 2021, it doesn't just start by walking up and getting a building. You have to have served under someone first. You have to be obedient enough to listen to the person you're serving under. It's in the person's position to tell you whether you are ready to move or you still need to stay and learn more things. So dreaming big is you wanting to be a general overseer, but you breaking it down is you serving under someone. If you intend to become a very big movie star in the industry, it starts from somewhere. It starts from movies around your community, church film, acting in church, acting in school, participating in one or two movie shoots around you. You don't just sleep and wake up and become a celebrity. It is step by step. Another way at which you can keep your New Year resolution is monitoring your behavior. You make yourself accountable for everything you do. This is a way of intentionally and actively monitoring your goals and regulate your behaviors in response to different situations. I'll give you an instance. If I'm addicted to chocolate, for instance, if I'm addicted to chocolate and probably I'm alone in the house and the craving comes up, what do I do? Instead of telling myself, okay, I will not eat this chocolate, I overcome temptation, I can do it, why not just take a walk? Or but better still, get yourself a cup of water and drink. Distractions actually helps in keeping resolution. In what sense? I gave an instance of you wanting to take chocolate, but because you're watching your diet, you can't. By the time you distract yourself from what you are doing at the moment, what you are thinking, at the moment, you see yourself gradually getting out of the craving for that chocolate. If you're not taking a water or taking a walk will not help you, get yourself distracted, get a book, listen to something. It will actually help you. Another way to keep your resolution, which I see it as very, very important, is you understanding why you need to change. This is one thing people actually fail to do. I can't just wake up one day as a drink addict and tell myself I won't stop. I want to stop. I mean, you can't just stop like that until you know why you want to stop and why you actually went into it in the first place. I believe something which I don't think everybody around me actually believe that. But I feel if you're a drunk, if you are this person that's addicted to alcohol, and you probably in a day you take 4 bottles, 5 bottles, why not step down to 3 bottles? From there, okay, I'm done with 3 bottles. I step down to 2 bottles. Then 2 bottles, you come down to 1 bottle, and before you know, you're out of it already. Because people have this mentality of once I decide to stop, I stop at once. It doesn't work that way. Somehow, inside of you, you still see yourself wanting that thing and you still go back to have it. There are actually some wrong habits we have in us that can't and would not just stop at once. When you talk about immoralities, it doesn't stop at once. If you are someone that's addicted to masturbating, or probably you're into lesbianism, or sex is your way of your lifestyle somehow, you can't just stop at once. It's a gradual process. And in this gradual process, you need to be intentional about stopping. Because if you're not intentional about stopping, you still see yourself going back to it. Why? Because you're not giving your body reasons to stop. So if I'm a lesbian and I tell myself, okay, I think it's high time I stop walking around with things like this. First thing first, I need to cut the level of friends I have. Everybody that make me feel that way need to stay away from me. I am intentional about leaving them. Secondly, you have to be intentional about what you watch, what you say, and what you listen to, because whatever comes to your ear actually registers in your heart. There's nothing we actually exhibit out that has not actually played in our heart somewhere, somehow. We've actually played everything in our heart and we just bring it out to the physical. So, in everything we do, we need to understand that we need to be conscious and intentional about why we need to change. If you're not intentional about changing, there's no need for a new year resolution, because you can't sit down for minutes, for seconds, for hours and write out something in a book that you don't even know why you're writing it. Probably you're writing it because you were told to write it, or you're writing it because someone told you to write it. If you know there's something in you, that an habit in you that you actually want to stop, and you think you writing it down in your resolution is actually going to help you, then you need to give yourself 1001 reasons to stop. Because if you can't give yourself reasons to actually stop that habit of yours, then you will still see yourself going back to that habit. Another thing that can help you keep your new year resolution is actually giving yourself a medal. Trust me, it's not easy to run a whole new year resolution and come out successful. So for every mistake you make, don't crucify yourself. Tell yourself, I've made this mistake and I'm coming out strong. For every of your goals you were able to achieve, give yourself a medal for it. Because those goals, whether you like it or not, it was not easy. They weren't easy for they were actually hard. They were actually energy sucking. There are things you had to sit down and tell yourself that, okay, I really need to do this thing. I really need to be at this position at this particular time. I'll give you an instance. There was actually a day I told myself, okay, I was actually going to pray for 4 hours. And I sat there in my room and I was looking at my Bible, I was looking at my book. But then the vibes was not just there. Why? It's not because I don't know that if I read that thing, it will help me. But it's because I'm not giving myself reasons why I should pray to that level. I'm not giving myself reasons why I should actually study to that level, because I used to have this mentality of, please, there are some people that have not prayed for 4 hours, 10 hours, and God has actually built them to a level. So why am I stressing myself? But one thing that I've come to realize is when you set your heart to do something, when you set yourself to do something, you have to have reasons for doing it. And your reasons don't have to be surrounded by what people think or how people feel. Coming out of the spiritual side of it, let's come to our normal world. Okay, I want to be a celebrity star. I want to do this, I want to do that. I want to be the best musician of the year. I want to be the best artist of the year. I want to write. I want my books to be well known. All this has to be intentional. You have to tell yourself why you need to write that book. You need to tell yourself reasons why you need to sit down and waste your time in quotes in writing that book. Because if you don't have reasons for writing that book, if you don't have reasons for wanting to be that celebrity you want to be, you see yourself not actually doing anything for the year. Another way to keep your new year resolution is actually to learn from your past. I tell people for every mistake you made is a story to tell, is a success story to tell at a point in your life. So for every mistake you made last year, 2020, it's not time for you to sit down and play the pity game on yourself. A successful person doesn't sit down for people to pity him. He or she stands up and take a stand for himself, because by the time you sit down, people are playing this pity game on you, like, okay, sorry, you made this mistake, next year will be better, you can do better, you can. If you're waiting for people to encourage you, you're actually wasting your time, because the best encouragement you can get is you sitting down and actually encouraging yourself. So you need to actually learn from your past. Anytime you fail to make a change, consider it a step towards your goal. Why? Because every sincere attempt to every because each sincere attempt represents a lesson learned. Every time you decide to do something, whether you are able to do it or not, you've learned something from it. If I tell myself today I'm going to spend the rest of my days in the library, and I find myself not doing it, the fact that I was at home, the question is, what did I learn at home? For every single second, minute, and hour that passes, we have something to learn from it. So if we are able to reach our goal for the day, the target of the day or not, we need to learn something from each day that actually come true. Then the last thing that will actually help us keep our resolution is your calendar, as I said. Because when you have a calendar with you, you are able to tick every single thing at which you've written down your resolution. If I'm telling myself between January 1st to August 30th, I should be able to achieve a particular goal. By the time I'm looking at my calendar every day, I'll be able to tell myself, okay, I have this certain month to go, I have these certain days to go, I have certain hours to go at meeting up to my target. So the best and the first thing that will actually help you keep your resolution, first, as I said, is understanding why you need to change. Two, dream big. Three, you need to prioritize your items. Lay serious emphasis on why your goals just have to be achieved, because you can't spend the rest of your years not doing anything. With your new year resolution being visible, you actually be able to walk step by step. That's the benefit of your resolution. It helps you walk step by step. You don't rush anything. You give yourself a target until you are done with what you have for that moment, for that month, and for those days. You see yourself not doing any other thing except that. If you want to actually keep your new year resolution, you actually need to be very, very, very serious, because your resolution is something that is actually very hard to keep, but with conscious efforts and intentional efforts, you'll be able to keep up to them. On this episode, I'll be ending on this note. When you dream big, and you break it down into smaller units, you're actually able to actualize all those small unit goals at which you set for yourself for the year. I'm Ray, and thanks for watching. See you next time on The Happening. Remember to like and follow our page on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Stay safe.